Other big news, big event for my year has been publishing a paper jointly authored with two professors from Aix-Marseille University on the subject of Bitcoin and a relationship of Bitcoin to the social network. It was published in a magazine called Esquire, which is a British magazine. It's sort of a cross between, say, the New Yorker and Huffington Post, but entirely exclusively on the web, online, so you don't buy copies, you just go look at them. The subject of the paper, I'll tell you a little bit about it. I mentioned it's software, it's Bitcoin software structure, as it might be applied to social networking groups. My two co-authors, Olivier Ollier and Yosuri Marzuki, are the principal authors of the main subject, which is something they call virtual collective consciousness. My contribution was Bitcoin. Let me tell you just a little bit about Bitcoin so it's not so much a mystery. To the end user, a Bitcoin is just a piece of software that you start up on your laptop or your PC. The wallet contains an account record of the Bitcoins you've spent or received, and to send money to someone you just enter a number which represents their account. You then send it on to them. Of course, you have to log on to your account, and all that kind of security is there. But it's as simple to send some money as it is to enter an email address. Bitcoins can be moved from wallet to wallet, and it's easy as pie. What makes it work? Well, there's no central agency. If there were, it would be much easier to make all this work, but the principle that they were attempting to demonstrate was the fact that you can have a decentralized system. The way this works, there are multiple users called miners who check every transfer that's made by anybody in the world, and these miners ensure that the Bitcoins were owned by the sender and that they are not trying to double spend their Bitcoin. And the point is, the checkers, these miners, receive a reward of, I think it's today, 25 Bitcoins for their checking effort. To get Bitcoins, you either mine them, become a checker yourself, or you buy them. I bought mine, and I only bought a fraction from a kid at the University of Rochester just to say I had some. Mining has become a high-tech cottage industry and is getting ever more elaborate with advanced circuits and all that stuff. Power costs at this point in time are running fairly high in order to do the checking, and that makes it somewhat of a nuisance and sets a high boundary for people who are inefficient in trying to earn Bitcoins. There are brokers, and high-level cryptography provides for the integrity of the whole system. Very high level. Now, trying to explain virtual collective consciousness is something that I might have to confess I barely understand myself. Essentially, the idea is that individual interactions within a network group results in a phenomena called virtual collective consciousness. The group takes on a life of its own. And our paper dealt with the subject of how Bitcoin and these virtual groups interact. Social network software can make the groups much more effective. The things that you could provide using the techniques that Bitcoin demonstrates is a global workspace where members who have commonly agreed ideas and objectives and beliefs can work together and observe their level of agreement and the evolution of their ideas into something final. There's protection. There's a need for protection from fraudulent participants, and Bitcoin provides that. And there's a need for secure consensus, and in the same way that the miners arrive at consensus for their agreement, that would apply here too as well. The natural question is, what's next? And at this point, Marzuki and I continue to stay in touch with emails, sometimes with Skype, and communicate back and forth as exciting new developments at the intersection of neuroscience, computer science, social networks, and to some extent Bitcoin occur. Keeping up with the literature in these fields is quite challenging. Trying to determine who are leading the pack, who's got the newest ideas and the best ideas, which findings of they're coming up with apply to the theories that we are trying to understand and support. The whole objective is to understand to what extent groups on social networks develop a life of their own. At what point can they be said to have achieved virtual collective consciousness? That's the $100 question. That's about it for the events.